Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. It's one of my replays and I'm in the Minotaur. At your 10, British cruiser. I'm also under attack by a super carrier because, yeah. And, that's annoying. But what's even more annoying is that I'm detected and as you can see, enemies are shooting me. Thankfully this Hanover was shooting me with high explosive.
Problem solved, sir.
And also thankfully not more battleships tried to get. Now anyway, this is on Faroe Islands, 4-point domination game, have a tier 11 battle. As we've established a super carrier. Now I need to smoke up here because the planes are coming back. And I, have to be careful. I wanted to get a little bit closer to the island, but the priority is to not get citadeled by battleships while planes. Meanwhile, there is a Kleber that I can shoot. Of course, Kleber is a very maneuverable little boat. It's very fast, and my shellacs aren't really that great for hitting something like a French destroyer. Not to mention that I only have armor piercing, so there is a distinct chance of getting a lot of bounces. But first I'd have to. The thing is, as you can see, it takes my shells about 11 seconds to reach this Kleber. And 11 seconds this Kleber can, run a circle around those shells. But we have found a different target, and it's a breast. And the breast is, well, let's just say, it's a lot easier to hit. That doesn't mean I'm gonna do that much damage, I suppose, because once again it's unfortunately very well angled, and as you can see I'm mostly getting ricochets and non-penetrations. I need to kinda hit a little bit of superstructure in the center. So I'm reversing a little bit in my smoke in the hopes of not hitting the island in front of me. Well, the Kleber is broadside, but as we've established, it's also pretty fast. And as you can see, I was hoping it would just say the broadside-ish, but it doesn't want to. It's basically, as soon as it sees the shells coming, it's gonna start maneuvering. Well, anyway, we have a Missouri here coming into my smoke, but my smoke is dispersing anyway. I'm just gonna accelerate here to let the Missouri pass, and then I need to find a different place on my next smoke screen. I mean, I could try to just use the island and have that as cover. Also, can we just appreciate how pretty this map is? I really like the colors here. Anyway, we are doing pretty well on caps, although the A cap is probably falling. We have just lost the ship there, but so has the enemy. For some reason, our Sevastopol and Satsuma are up there in the north. Thankfully, the map is designed to let nobody go into this corner, because let's be honest, if the Sevastopol and Satsuma could be further away from the battle, they would. The only thing that's stopping them from running is zone war. Anyway, there are some more planes incoming, but they're not coming from me currently. Now I could heal, but I have a super heal, so I'm trying to get a little bit more out of it. It's always a bit risky with a Minotaur, because a Minotaur is very easily destroyed, so you could argue you wanna heal that little bit just to have a little bit more of a safety net against potential citadels. But for now I think I should be fine. Now I've decided to move forward to a different island, mostly because the enemies are so far in the back that there won't be much to shoot at, and this is when the breast appears. Yeah, I kind of forgotten about that one. Now this is a problem, so I'm trying immediately to slow down, turn away to angle, and smoke up. But it did get a salvo off, and it did get a citadel. I'm still alive though, so we consider ourselves lucky here. I also immediately pressed the heal in the hopes of counteracting the potentially massive amounts of damage coming in. Now the good news is, I'm now in concealment while the breast is still trying to blind shoot me. And while I am moving in my smoke, it's still got a pretty decent salvo off there. Not good enough though. So now, the breast is gone.
Enemy cruiser sunk.
This could have gone a little worse. So yeah, Also, I got a torpedo hit meanwhile, which is always lovely. Of course, this whole encounter forced me to smoke up in a position that I didn't want to. I wanted to go more around the island, or to the more shallow part, so I could actually shoot the Colombo, Hanover and Marlborough that are still around there. Well, we'll see if we can get some shots if I move a little bit forward. I could also just try to use that oh, wait a moment. Okay, the Kleber is rushing in. I'm immediately pulling Hydro here. Unfortunately, I had to wait until it was around the island in order to hit it, and it wasn't fast enough to save my friend in Shimakaze. Well, that's unfortunate, but the Kleber is dead as well. Now, my friend left the smoke screen though, so what I can do is I can move from my smoke screen that's running out into the other smoke screen. Of course, the slight issue is there isn't really much spotting now, is there? So unless I get the enemy to shoot, I'm not sure how much I can do from here. Now, we've seen the Colombo come this way. It's possible that the Colombo is gonna come around, trying to get me in the crossfire. Although I still have two Conquerors actually behind me. That might stop an enemy push. The good news is, when this smoke runs out, I have my own smoke ready again. So if the Colombo were to actually push me here, I could just smoke up again and then hopefully torpedo it when it gets close. But there's a lot of hypotheticals. For now, let's just shoot the Hanover. It looks like my Conquerors are providing the spotting now. And I am keeping an eye on this Colombo. Oh, I actually got a torp. Nice. Maybe I should have used more torps. I didn't want to use all of my torps because I need the defense in case it pushes me. But we will see. So smoke is about to run out, so I'm gonna use my smoke there. I could also try to torpedo the Hanover. It's kind of pushing towards me, so it could sail into those, although will it keep pushing towards me? Also, will it just get burned by the Conquerors behind me? And oh, there's a Marlborough. That Marlborough is dangerously close. Now, it does look like the Marlborough is gonna head behind the island, but it's always possible that it decides to stop or that it decides to push. So we shall see. Yeah, okay, I'm afraid it's not gonna take my lovely fish offerings. What a shame. Ow! Stop it! Well, I mean, at this range, I suppose it got off a pretty nice blind shot. So I'm gonna use another heal in order to recover some of that. Meanwhile, the enemy Hanover has decided to disengage. And not just that, it's also dropped in concealment. Oh well, nothing we can do here. Now RPF is tracking that Marlborough there behind the island. The other battleship that was potentially trying to push around has been taken care of by now. Unfortunately, our team isn't faring so well on caps, although we are doing pretty well on ships, I suppose. So there is that. And it looks like we might be retaking the A cap and therefore equalizing the cap situation. So because I had nothing to shoot anymore, I'm leaving this smoke screen and might be able to get... yeah, okay, I was the one spotting. Okay, so much for that. Anyway. Also, it looks like the Marlborough is running away. So no sneaky torpedo ambush on my part. Meanwhile, it looks like the enemy is equalizing us a bit on ships. That's not ideal. So, I can't really shoot anything from here. If I go around here and I'm too close to the Marlborough, I get detected and my smoke isn't quite ready yet. So we'll have to play this a bit careful. I can try to have only my front guns peek around and have my front guns firing while being undetected. Of course, that won't work with the planes coming this way. So, this is going to get tricky. The planes are getting closer and closer. Although they might just be... Well, I mean, if they go for the Conquerors behind me, they'll still detect me exactly. So, Well, the good news is the planes went behind that island, so I was briefly undetected, but only briefly. Now they can see me again. And the Hanover and the Marlborough could be an issue. Thankfully, the plane spotting has now stopped. Okay then, so we avoid the beaching. The enemy didn't have enough time to shoot me, and I need to find a proper place to continue my pew-pew. The Marlborough and the Hanover running away, not very ideal for a Minotaur to deal with, because my range is limited and they only have armor piercing. So angled ships are not... well, they are hard to take down. Thankfully though, it looks like the Soyuz and the Ohio are gonna push the center, and well, we almost kept the center, but the Kronstadt is being rudely interrupted. My friend Viper in the Vampire is gonna go in there though, and probably flip this camp. Now if the Soyuz and the Ohio actually push straight into it, that means they're going to be broadside, and that means I'll have some perfect targets to shoot at. Meanwhile, the Hanover and the Marlborough continue to go for the zone wall. And hopefully our Conquerors will just burn them to the ground. Now, if I get close enough, I could even use my torpedoes against those enemies. But I have to be careful because I'm almost getting detected by planes. Now, I am slowing down, mostly because I need to be able to smoke up immediately if needed. And I decided, you know, it might just be time. We can see the Soyuz already peeking around here a little bit. Soyuz is almost in torpedo range, and when we look at the trajectory on the minimap, it looks like it's gonna come a little bit closer if it continues, like, straight forward. So the fishies might have a target to hit. So we go for our torpedoes, although the smoke screen that's spitting out shells is a dead giveaway that I'm here. Or we'll see if the Soyuz reacts in a way. Meanwhile, the Ohio is already turning away, it looks like. The Soyuz, though, is still a pretty nice target, and it... Ow! Stop citadeling me in my smoke! Yeah, okay, so I need to maneuver a little bit. Now, when you move backwards and forwards in your smoke screen, you have to be careful that you don't accidentally leave your smoke screen with your maneuvering. That would be very... bad. So I got a torpedo hit into the Soyuz. The Soyuz this time missed with its shells, and I'm approaching the edge of my smoke, so I need to switch from reversing into going forward again. Now unfortunately I'm getting on very low health, and it's pretty much possible for the Soyuz to just kill me in my Smoky with a lucky hit. But it looks like I'm still okay. The Soyuz is gonna go down before it reloads. There we go. Now the Ohio has used this time to just disengage and abandon its comrade, which probably not the smartest choice on the Ohio. Seeing that the enemy could really use some caps, and the Ohio is going into the only place where they have one uncontested. So yeah, the Ohio could have sticked with the Soyuz, it could have tried pushing me in my smoke, it could have helped blind shooting, it could have helped contest a B cap or anything. But the Ohio is basically running into the only direction where it can't influence the battle in any way or form. Good for us, you know, because it's still a pretty close game. And the Ohio backing up the Soyuz might have just turned the tables in the enemy's favor. Now, the Ohio is gonna get pummeled by the Eagle, and, well, I still have a smoke screen left, so I'm gonna go into a perfect position to ambush the Ohio when it comes around. Well, ambush, I don't really have spotting if I smoke up. Currently, the carrier is doing the spotting for me, and that might continue if the carrier decides to shoot the Eagle. I'll have some preemptive fish here, and you know what? If I were smart, I'd turn my ship around now. Because then I could use the torpedoes from the other side in case it pushes me. I still have a smoke screen. If I maneuver carefully around here, I wouldn't be in too much of a danger. But yeah. So I'm gonna preemptively smoke, simply because if the Ohio gets close enough and detects me, as we know one salvo would be enough to take care of me. There is a Yu Yang, so I'm gonna deploy some Hydro. And now, you know, I'm just gonna wait. We got this with points.
Smoke screen set.
So, all we need to do is hold on to our camps. The Yu Yang has been spotted by planes, so has the Ohio. Unfortunately, my fishes were not quite perfectly timed, but you know, there isn't much Ohio left, so we'll just do this the old-fashioned way. Okay, the Ohio is dealt with. That's a major threat gone. I don't think the Yu Yang is gonna be a threat with its guns. Now it still has some dangerous fish, but I have a little over a minute of Hydro left. Meanwhile, we've lost the Conqueror to the United States. We still have one left, and Viper is also there flipping the sea camp. So as I said, points-wise, we are going to probably win on that. We now have 3 camps. We have about 200 more points, and it's less than 3 minutes remaining. I mean, we also have 2 more ships, mind you. But the enemy carrier could easily finish me off, and I'm not sure how healthy our other ships are. Meanwhile, the Yu Yang is carrier spotted, so we'll try to make the most of it. Actually, this Yu Yang is a potential Kraken. So, be a good Yu Yang and give me my Kraken. Well, there goes my plane spotting. And, ow! Go away, enemy carrier! I'm in the important Kraken hunting business. So I'm gonna use my last heal here, and I'm gonna dodge some fish. Thankfully my Hydro is still running. Now Yu Yang does have a reload booster in theory, but this far into the battle I would be surprised if there is still a charge left. So most likely I have some time until the Yu Yang can get more fish off. Now, of course, my only way of spotting it is if the carrier spots it, and the carrier is on its way already. So we'll see. Speaking of carriers though, yet the enemy carrier is coming back. Oh, the Yu Yang is almost dead. Come on. I just need one hit. I just need a hit. Oh, the carrier isn't actually attacking. But it's possible that the carrier just overshot, or it's possible that the carrier is nice enough to let me get the Kraken. And there we go. Enemy carrier is too late to farm me, and won't have time for another drop. Go away, planes. And there we go. That was a lovely Kraken in the end, and I even survived. There were a few dicey moments in this battle, to be honest, and I think most damage I got from blind shot citadels in my smoke. But hey, I prevailed in the end, and got my Kraken. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and I'll see you next time.